All right, this is episode 11 of the Bullheaded podcast. I'm your host, Sean. And if you're unfamiliar with this voice, that's because Chaz is laying out today or tonight. He had some prior obligations he had to go through. So I'm going to hold down the fort and make sure our referee, good enough between my guys, Bush and Zhu. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man.
Doing well, man. NBA is back, baby. I'm so excited again, man. I'm so excited. I was a little sad. I was like, ooh, man. Gonna do a little protesting. They got the job done. They got their message across, and they got the NBA back. It's beautiful, baby. It's beautiful.
Let's do it.
All right. So sticking with the NBA and the playoffs, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on two elite scorers that have been going back and forth with Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell. I want to know, who would you start an NBA franchise with? It doesn't matter, first pick, if you're using a draft, whatever. Who would you want to start an NBA franchise with? And Zoo, I'm going to let you start it off.
Oh, man, between these two studs, I'm a lucky franchise, but I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell. This guy just reminds me of Dwayne Wade and Derrick Rose. Wade and Derrick Rose because he's a two, but he's got a body of a point guard. He's all muscle. He's got hops, man. You saw that dunk in the playoffs. He got hops. He got athleticism. He got leadership. That's one thing, like his leadership intangibles on an irrelevant franchise such as the Utah Jazz. You see how he's leading that team with Rudy Gobert and a bunch of nobodies. But man, come on, look at his wings. Like Mike Conley, man. Mike Conley's was ready as his sidekick, man, as a point guard. Like that dude is his sidekick already, man. He's taking a lead from a young buck. Like his ability to dominate the basketball, be a creator for his teammates. He's gotten a lot better as a creator. Dude, the brother's dropping 38 points a game right now. 38 points a game. Monster. That is some Michael Jordan, LeBron James scoring right there. That is incredible. And it's on a good team. You got Denver Nuggets, man. That's a good team, man. Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic. You got two studs over there. So it's not against like a scrub team he's doing this. 38 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. That's like D-Rose MVP year stats right there, man. That's why he's doing as a 6'1" guard. I'm taking Donovan Mitchell because of that leadership ability and that talent, baby.
Dude, and he's shooting 54% from the field and an ungodly percentage shooting from three, man. That's the one thing about this series and watching them go back and forth. They're both just raining from three. Their percentages are both well over 50. They've just been both beasting. But this is a tough decision, man. I mean, like you said, Zoo, you can't go wrong either way if you're starting a franchise with these guys. But I'm going to go with Jamal Murray. I know Mitchell's been popping off. And I know we were talking about this, pre podcast, but dude, Jamal Murray has been putting up 50-point games in this bubble. Might be the bubble inflation, whatever, they're fresher legs and all that. But this guy has upped his game from the regular season to the bubble immensely. He was averaging about 19 a game during the regular season, and he's up to over 31 points per game now, putting up like 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 assists and 6 rebounds. And he's shooting 63% from the field, man, as a guard. That is impressive.
It's all jump shots. It's all jump shots.
But he makes smart decisions, and I think that's why I like him a little bit more than Mitchell. Mitchell is 100% more explosive. He can get to the rim. They can actually both get to the rim at will. But where Jamal Murray sets himself apart, I think, is in his decision-making. He loves his mid-range game. He's not jacking up all these, random three-point shots. I know Mitchell can get a little three-point happy every once in a while. But they both can move the ball around. But I think it's hard to compare them on a statistical basis just because I think the Nuggets are a naturally more balanced team. And Jokic is almost more of a facilitator for that team.
Yeah, he's a point guard for that team.
Yeah, he's a point guard. So he brings down his assist numbers where I think if he was on a different team, like the Jazz or elsewhere, he would excel in other ways and asked to be the main point scorer. If he was to be asked, he's not really asked to be the main scorer on the Nuggets. They're just so balanced across the board. Obviously, he can, and we've seen it, especially in Game 5 or Game 4. I mean, he was just ridiculous. He went on like a personal 10-0 run, man. I'm going to go with Jamal Murray just because of his size. I like his decision making, and he can still get it done on the offensive end, but he doesn't need the ball all the time.
I got you with that, but you're forgetting Nikola Jokic, man.
Oh my
that
God.
dude is an amplifier. You give that guy
Sure.
top of the key. Jamal Murray could play off the basketball, and him
Ridiculous.
as a pick and pop partner,
Unreal.
beautiful. Because Nikola Jokic, that guy's a legitimate 3-point shooter, man. As a pick and roll partner, because he could pass, he could shoot, he could dribble, even though he's real slow. But man, that guy could do it all. Man, and you see Donovan Mitchell with, I love Rudy Gobert on defense. On offense, irrelevant, man.
Irrelevant.
All that guy could do is catch lobs and dunk the basketball. He's got no jump shot in his game. The guy legitimately is just a dunker at the dunker spot on offense. So Donovan Mitchell has a way bigger burden.
Absolutely.
Dropping 57, man, and still lost. That's when you're pulling. You got a team full of offensive scrubs. When you drop 57 and you still lose, that's a true shine of greatness on an offensive team.
Michael Jordan level.
Oh, it is. It reminded me of MJ, like 63, like those types of games, like dropping that many points and still losing. I give him even more props because his team did not step it up. And Donovan Mitchell didn't complain that this guy just got it done. And he responded, man. He responded, but they won 3 straight games right after. How did they win 3 straight games? I was like, ooh, the Jazz in a 50-50 game overtime, the morale. If I was Donovan Mitchell, I'd be like, what more can I do? Just win 3 straight against the Nuggets. Let's go, Donovan Mitchell. And he's without his second best offensive player, and Bogdanovich,
Bogey, man.
Man, Bogey, their biggest signing. The guy is actually a pretty good wing defender and scorer. Guy hits some game winners, actually. Yeah, so the guy is an elite shooter. So you lost his wingman, and this guy's doing that, and his point guard just had a baby, just came back. This Donovan Mitchell guy is just getting it done, man.
Putting on
every level. Every level, man.
Bogey reminds me of like a current day Peja Stojakovic in a bit. The way he plays, he's very similar and an absolute great running mate to have. And they're clearly missing him a bit because, like you said, the burden is all on Mitchell. And I think that's where it's hard to end up comparing the two, is because they're in such different playing situations right now. And Murray is not always being asked. I think he's put up like 2 14-point games, but he was still shooting. But he only took like 8 shots, right? So he's not making bad decisions. It's not like he's going 6 for 15 or something like that. He's going 6 for 11. It might be he's going 4 for 9, things like that, right? He doesn't do too much. And I think that's why, as a point guard who's also got a decent amount of height and obviously could also play the shooting guard role, I'm going to take him on my team. Nothing to say against Mitchell. I just think that, obviously there's been so many 50-plus games in this bubble. It's actually been pretty ridiculous compared to just a normal NBA season. Yeah. But, dude, Mitchell can carry a team. But I think that Murray could as well if you were to put him on that Utah Jazz squad the way that they are right now.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think he can dominate the basket. He can shoot. His pull-up game is real nice. It's so nice. It's a nice looking jump shot. I love his step back jumper. But I'm telling you, the Nikola Jokic effect is real, man.
Okay,
when he touches the ball, is Midas, man. Everything he touches turns to gold. So when he gets those nice passes, you get better looks. And that's why Porter Jr. is draining threes. He got an ability to emphasize the shooters around him. Donovan got nobody. He's doing it by himself. He's dribbling up. He's pulling up. He's dribbling up, going to the basket. He's dribbling up, passing to an open shooter. I like the guy that dominates the basketball. He's backpacking the team. I like backpackers. Like Jamal Murray is just like, I got my boy Jokic, man. We a dynamic duo. Batman and Robin. Donovan's like, I gotta be Superman. I got no sidekick.
Dude,
none at all.
All right.
None at all.
That's fine. First, dude, Jamal Murray, did you not watch Game 5, man?
I watched him. He was great. He was unreal.
He took over that game by himself, taking the ball, making a move, pulling up in anyone's face, man. He didn't care. He wanted that win. They were pushed into a corner at 3-1. They should have never been in that situation in the first place. I've honestly, as you saw last podcast, I picked the Jazz to upset this series, and I still think they obviously, it's in 6 games. I think it'll end up going 7. I could see Mitchell pulling one out. Obviously, he could drop 50 and hit a game winner on him, to be honest. But, dude, just because Jokic is on the floor doesn't mean Murray can not take over a game, dude. The guy can. He just chooses not to because he's making good decisions, giving the ball to Jokic, swinging it around, going to MPJ, etc. Dude, I don't know how you can hate on Murray for not being able to take over a game. He clearly showed it twice.
Nah, I'm saying he's not an alpha.
Oh,
he's not an alpha. I want an alpha dog leader, a guy that's a leader of men. Jamal Murray, that guy's a bucket getter. He's a bucket getter. He's like, I compare him to like CJ McCollum, a nice player, a great scorer, pull up three, beautiful, high skill, very high skill player.
Smart.
When I see Donovan, I just see a stud out there, man. I just see Donovan Mitchell play basketball.
Athleticism. I think it's the athleticism.
It is.
Because that's the biggest difference between the two.
6'1", and he's ripped and fast. I want an athlete. And that jump shot's still nice too, man. I like the combination of athleticism and shooting. And I think Donovan is a better combination relative to Murray. Murray, I don't think he's the better athlete. The guy's taller, obviously, and his jump shot way prettier. I give him that. That jump shot, beautiful,
man.
I love that jump shot.
Watched him in Kentucky too. He hasn't changed one bit when it comes to his gameplay, man. He's consistently gotten better, but he's so balanced across the board offensively that it's smooth to watch him play. I don't know how else to describe it other than just watching him move around the court. It's not shiftiness as like Luka Doncic level shifty, but Jamal Murray's on his, he's not far behind when it comes to being able to get where he wants to go on the court and get the ball in the bucket, man. He's good at it and he's efficient with it.
I see, man. I see. I'm taking Donovan. You take Jamal.
Yeah.
My franchise will win.
Can't lose
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hearing you guys describe both of those two guys as scorers, and personally, I probably would say I like Jamal just because I feel like he can play maybe the lead guard position a little bit better than Donovan. But I'm throwing another name in this wrench, and I kind of feel like you guys will pick this guy, but I'm interested to hear what you are going to say. Out of those two, you have Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell to start a franchise. If I throw Tatum in that bunch, are you guys picking?
I'm taking Jason Tatum. Easy.
I agree.
Okay.
Wing, my favorite players. If you got a wing player like a 6'8" two-way wing, that's the ideal position to have because you could defend most positions. You could post up smaller guys. You could drive in. Pretty much your versatility is on another level because you could also be the lead guard or a big. Like Tatum plays the 4, and he's pretty much he's a small forward. He can play the 4 right now for the Celtics right now. So his versatility.
He's the epitome of what you want on a current NBA team. Yeah, I mean, like just think of like the height on NBA teams now. I mean, we got PJ Tucker start as a starting center on Houston Rockets, right? Like Jason Tatum could easily guard their largest player on the floor at any given time, right? And that's a good team in the Rockets, right? So, dude, he's fun to watch, man. And he's actually, he's the leading rebounder on their team. He's almost averaging 10 rebounds a game, I think. Which, for the Celtics, I don't know. If he's your leading rebounder, you may have a little bit of issues. But, dude, the guy is – you want to talk about being a leader at that young of an age? He has really stepped up, and he came out of Duke, like, fully ready for the NBA, man, on all fronts.
He's smooth, man. That's all I got to say. He's smooth. That jump shot is beautiful, too, man. It's smooth.
Yeah, I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that because I thought about it right before the podcast. I was like, I said, they're probably going to agree with saying Tatum, but I just wanted to see you guys' thoughts because, like you said, Murray and Mitchell have been killing it. But staying on the playoffs, we have a Western Conference series that started out 2-0 in favor of Houston, and I think I saw a lot of people on social media. It was like, get the brooms out, Hart going crazy.
Stop.
He always shows up and gets it going in the first couple of games. But Chris Paul, credit to him, he came back, and now the series is tied 2-2. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on who you think is going to end up ultimately winning the series. And P. Bush, I'm going with you. I think I know where you're going to go with this.
Oh, you know. You know what? Hey, the Rockets are a great team. Without Russell Westbrook, this is a very different series, as we've clearly seen. I don't think that they would have lost 2 in a row. They probably would have won in 5 games. It's 2-2 now. Hell of a game 4. Great overtime. Chris Paul was hitting ungodly shots. I'm going with the Thunder in 7, man. The Thunder have all the momentum right now. And I think the biggest thing that they found was a player that they can put on Harden to make it harder for him, right? That's all you have to do with Harden. He's one of those stars that no matter what, he's going to get his 30, 35 a game. But what you have to do is you have to make him less efficient. And Lou against Dort, man, that guy has stepped up on the defensive end, and he has been playing him relatively well. His three-point percentage is way down from his regular season average. Obviously, he's still averaging 30-something points per game. Harden's going to do his thing. But, dude, this Thunder team has really stepped up. They have the height advantage with Steven Adams. That man's averaging a double-double. You got 4 players averaging 18 points or more per game in Gallinari, Schroeder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Chris Paul. That is balanced scoring. You don't know who they're going to give the ball to. Obviously, CP3, if there's games on the line, he almost hit that no-look reverse layup to win the game, man. That would have been ridiculous. That would have been Jordan-esque. But, dude, and a couple podcasts ago, I said CP3 is the player that needs a ring the most in the league right now. And I think that he's, I don't know if this is the year for him, but he's giving it his all, and I've just had a blast watching him. This man's 34 years old at 6 feet in the NBA, and he's still doing his thing, man. He can get to wherever he wants to on the court. He's one of the smartest guys in the league when it comes to basketball IQ. I don't know. The Rockets just haven't been doing it for me lately, especially in the past 2 games as we've seen. I just think the Thunder have all the momentum, and they're going to bring this one home in 7.
I give you, they got the momentum. I watched Game 4. The Rockets straight up played like garbage in the fourth quarter. They missed every three-pointer. They legit missed everything. I was watching this game because after the third quarter, I was like, 8 straight three-pointers. Let's go. Let's get rid of this garbage team. But my Lord, the Rockets, they pulled a Game 7 against the Warriors. They missed like every three-pointer. I was watching. I'm like, let's get some layups, please, man. Let's get in the paint.
That's not their game.
But no, they just drive for three-pointers, man. They don't drive for layups. They don't drive for getting dunked. They drive for three-pointers. So I keep watching. I'm like, come on, James. I think you're an MVP caliber player, man. I want you to take over against a team that shouldn't have been in the playoffs. But I'm going with the Rockets. I'm going with the Rockets because I believe in James Harden. He ain't losing the first round. I believe in him way too much for that brother to lose in the first round against a team that only has one All-Star this year. Chris Paul's the only All-Star. James Harden is an All-Star. So you are a better player than Chris Paul, so you better lead your team over that team. James Harden. This guy, let's go for 40. You need 40 points from this dude right now because not going to lie, I see some of those shooters like PJ Tucker. Man, that guy can get real cold, man. He can get real cold. Even that quarter specialist, man, that's an ugly jump shot. I'm sorry, that's ugly. Robert Covington, that guy could get real cold, man, like the Ice Age with Robert Covington, man. Not a fan of Covington shooting three-pointers. When he loses confidence, like that dude is just irrelevant on offense. So the amount of shooters that the Rockets rely on is all centralized around one player, which that burden of being the go-to scorer, the go-to playmaker, with not even a big now. They got no guy to like throw lobs to. It is a heavy burden. Oh, yeah, not gonna lie, he's second best player right now. It's a little sad. If Jeff Green's your second best player in the West, yeah, that's an issue. But I am betting on Russell Westbrook returning.
Ooh.
Russell Westbrook. The projection, he's practicing a little right now. Okay. Russell Westbrook is in street clothes at the games. He got an extra couple days of break. So now Russell Westbrook will make a return with the Rockets. And that dude with James Harden, they ain't losing after that. They ain't losing after that. I'm not the biggest fan of Russell Westbrook, but against his old team, and he's always played decently well against Chris Paul because of the size advantage. Because athleticism and size, that's Chris Paul's weakness. Those big point guards, athletic point guards, aka Derrick Rose days, he gets destroyed by these types of point guards. So Russell Westbrook, I'm taking that over, and maybe they'll put Shai Gilgeous on him. But Russell Westbrook with James Harden, I'm believing in those two stars because the rest of that team, I don't believe in any of them. I watch these guys shoot threes. I'm like, Ben McLemore, that's your go-to shooting guard right now? Like, seriously.
He's trying to be Ray Allen.
Seriously, man, like legitimately, they rely on all these very irrelevant basketball players to shoot threes. Like
that's D'Antoni.
Exactly. Like the amount of guys that shoot threes, like some of them, I would even say they're like specialists. It's just because of the offense. And they need guys to shoot threes. And the way they're playing their system, they have to shoot threes. And if they don't go in, they can lose to everybody. Like everybody, because when they miss threes, I'm like, it's a disaster
They're
to watch.
so off. They're
Yeah.
they're arguably one of the streakiest teams ever.
Mhm.
And that's, I feel like that's been relatively consistent throughout D'Antoni's career. Obviously, Steve Nash on the Suns kind of honed that team in a bit and made him play more consistently. But dude, the Rockets, I don't know. When I watch them, it's like they're either dropping 140 points and they're hitting, 47% from three, or they're just absolute ice age cold, like you said, Zoo. And I can't pick them in a series, against a team that normally plays more consistently. Like I said, they have 4 consistent scorers that like to run up and down the floor. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is leading the series of any player in the series in minutes. He plays 42 minutes a game. This guy's got an unreal stamina. He's very young. Besides Chris Paul, they're a relatively young team. Steven Adams, everyone forgets he's only 26 years old. He can still play. I think what it's going to come down to is if Harden can continue to get to the line, that's obviously going to make a huge difference. If he can just get easy points, get the rest, right? Because he's got so much burden on his shoulders, man. I don't know how he deals with it sometimes. But, dude, if Russell comes back, that'll be interesting. And I think that will change a lot of people's opinions on the series. But I don't see him coming back. Maybe if it's forced Game 7, he might come back for Game 7. But I'm just going with the Thunder, man. They have the momentum. They got the size advantage. They have the depth advantage. And they just play more consistently game in and game out. It's really just going to depend on if Harden can carry him, man. And I don't think he can.
No, Russell Westbrook's coming back. So they got 2 MVPs. The Thunder got 0 MVPs. So I'm going with the team with 2 MVPs. That is that easy for me in my mind. It's that easy. The rest of the players, whatever. It's a stars game, and I'm going to ride with stars. That's as easy as I can make it right there.
It's a toss-up series, in my opinion. You're talking about a balanced team versus a star-studded team. It's really just going to come down to who can play most consistently.
Let's make this a Chipotle bet. Bet.
Okay.
Fine. Steak burrito.
I'm
Let's go,
going Thunder,
baby.
man.
Are you going Thunder? Let's go, James. I believe in you. You better not cost me a burrito, James. I'm betting on you, man. Don't cost me a burrito, James.
Yeah, I could see James in this situation with it being 2-2, him hoping that Russell comes back, because I don't know, man, with like people were saying with the pressure, I just feel like James, if he knows it's 2-2 and Russell's coming back, he's confident. But if he's not coming back, that pressure is going to mount. And I feel like CP3 has nothing to lose because nobody thought OKC was going to be there. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how they play. But final question of tonight deals in the Eastern Conference with the, potential matchup of the Boston Celtics and the Toronto Raptors. I think a lot of people left the Raptors for dead after Kawhi left, but it just shows their system.
I did. I definitely did.
Yeah.
I think we both did.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kawhi has that effect where if he leaves teams, people just think they go by the wayside. But, it's an interesting matchup, more even than I thought it would be when I was looking over it earlier today. But I wonder you guys' thoughts on who you think ultimately could win that series. And, Joe, I'm going to let you finish out tonight with this topic.
I'm going with the team with 3 20-point scores, baby. I'm going with the Boston Celtics. I'm going to keep hating on the Raptors because I've been hating on the Raptors for the last decade, man.
Yeah, you have.
I watched that team got destroyed by LeBron James year over year, seeing them choke with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. I'm not the biggest fan of Kyle Lowry. Okay, he's bounced back. He got a title, but he was the 3rd best player on the team when they won a championship.
True.
Siakam was the Robin, and Kawhi was Batman. So Lowry was Alfred. With Lowry as the 2nd best player and Siakam as the 1st best player, I don't believe in that. You cannot have Lowry as your 2nd best player and Siakam as the number 1 option to make it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Fred VanVleet?
Oh, Van Fleet, nice play. Do you know why I call him a Cinderella story? He's a Cinderella story. He's a 6-foot Cinderella story. Undersized. What school you went? He went to like Wichita? Was it Wichita?
Yeah, Wichita.
Shockers, man.
Yeah. Okay, a small school, a small dude, undrafted. Okay, he made the league. Okay, he's going to get a bag this summer. Good for him. But we talking about the NBA playoffs, man. Cinderella ain't going to be at this ball party at the end of the day because Jason Tatum is a stud, like we said. Jaylen Brown is another stud. Kemba Walker is clutch, man. So you got 3 primary ball handlers and scorers on this Celtics team, coached by the mastermind called Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens as a head coach with these elite players. Okay, bye-bye, Gordon Hayward. We don't need you. We got Tatum. We got Brown. We got Kemp. No, Gordon Hayward is an alternate, man. We really got 2 elite small forwards.
Dude, name one person on that bench besides Enes Kanter.
Don't matter. We got stars, baby. We got stars. I believe in Jason Tatum.
The playoffs is all about depth.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Depth? We talk about depth in the playoffs, not the regular season?
Dude, are you kidding me? You need players that for example, Jason Tatum needs a rest. Kemba Walker played?
They're playing 40 minutes, man. They're going to be playing 40 minutes in this series, man. 8 minutes? If you can't manage 8 minutes with bench dudes, you don't deserve to win the game.
Dude.
8 minutes?
Enes Kanter is their 6th best player. Like, dude,
You know my philosophy about the central position in the NBA. Irrelevant.
Obviously. Which means they don't have anybody.
They got better. They jumped out Horford, they got better.
Dude, all right, first of all, look. The Raptors are much better coached than the Celtics are. Nick Nurse, another coach. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You lose a finals MVP player, and your Raptors team is still playing like this. They have the number 1 offense in the first round. Granted, it was against depleted Nets. That's fine.
That team's not even a real NBA team.
Oh, my God.
Not
stop,
a real NBA team.
Karis LeVert is legit.
They're missing 4 of their best players.
So, dude,
look at 5.
Dude, all right, look.
They're missing a starting lineup.
Dude, all right, look, the Raptors are balanced, man. They have 6 players that average double-digit.
There you go with balance, man. We're talking about the playoffs, man. Nope.
Dude, you can still – they have the number one three-point shooting team in the league right now, okay? Number 1 rebounding team in the league right now, okay? And they have one of the best defensive teams in the league right now.
I give them. They're great at defense.
Yeah, that's well-coached, well-balanced. Pascal Siakam, he didn't even really do that much in the first round. That's the thing is we didn't even see – the Raptors play that much because the most minutes per game that anyone averaged in that series was 30.
Okay, I know. Yep, I get you that.
Okay. So now they're going up against a legitimate contender coming out of the East in the Celtics. They're going to step their game up, man. Nick Nurse is no noob when it comes to this stuff, man.
I give you that. He's a great coach.
He's a great coach. Coach of the year, exactly. He's going to lead this team that has Marc Gasol, Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, except, dude, they have so much depth that they can go and
you believe in Siakam as your number 1 option?
He's not their number 1 guy.
He's not. I'm going with Jason Tatum.
Fred VanVleet right now. Fred VanVleet.
Why does people with Fred VanVleet drinking this Kool-Aid, man? Dude, Fred VanVleet.
He's a great player. I don't know what you're...
Great? So we're just giving out great to everyone now.
He's pretty good, man. He's pretty damn good.
He's a solid player, man. He's a good player.
He's averaging more points per game than Jaylen Brown right now.
No, he isn't.
22 points per game.
Okay, they're at the same then.
They're on the same level. Okay. But then, dude, the Celtics literally just have nobody to go. Obviously, they're really young, so I will give them that they're going to have a lot of stamina. But every team has a lot of stamina right now because, like we've said multiple times before, they practice during the day, they play a game at night, they go home, and there's nothing for them to do in the bubble, man. They have all the time in the world to just be prepping for the game. I think the Raptors have more experience. They're more balanced. They're more efficient. They're a more efficient team. The Celtics across the board in the bubble so far against a depleted 76ers team that, I don't know, man. That team looked really rough in the first round.
I'm still taking that Sixers team over the Nets.
I'm
taking that Sixers team over the Nets still with Joel Embiid.
Of course, yeah, obviously. They still both got swept, though. They both got swept. Yeah. Dude, but the Celtics in that series, they were middle of the pack on offense, defense, rebounding, assists. That's the other thing. The Raptors lead the league. They average 30 assists a game. 30. They move the ball. That's the point is they don't need to give the ball to a Donovan Mitchell to put up 50 a game or a Harden or a Lillard to put up 50. These guys will drop 150 points as a team. 150. I don't care who you're playing against. If you get 150 dropped on you in the NBA, come on, man. That's just better offense. This team is super efficient, and they're going to win in 7 games. They're going to win in 7 games. This is going to go at least 6 or 7. Yeah. Guaranteed.
I'm going to say after 3 quarters, I think all these games are going to be relatively close.
Agreed.
But then I got the ball in my man Jason Tatum's hand.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to ride that boy, man.
The only difference.
Because that dude has high skill, man.
Yeah.
High skill. It's one of those things that you got great defense, better offense. That's all I got to say, man. And better offense is always better,
True.
man. And
Okay.
in the fourth quarter, you know these guys are going to go isolation. They're not going to be playing Spurs basketball in the fourth quarter, playing that passing game. No, they're going to be tired, so they're going to give it to their star, and he's going to go isolation, and I'm taking Tatum. Pascal Siakam is not a good perimeter player yet, man. He's not a good perimeter player. I don't think he's that great of a ball handler.
He's lengthy, man.
He's lengthy.
That's a big effect.
His offensive game is still not refined yet.
Of course.
And with all with him as the number one option, I don't trust Pascal Siakam.
I don't think he's the number one scoring option. He's the number one flow-through option, in my opinion. You give him the ball, and he kind of like facilitates. He makes good cuts and all that. But Van Vliet and Lowry are the two that are going to have to step up.
You believe in Kyle Lowry?
I think. Well, he did sprain his ankle, which is a big thing. I think he'll come back and he'll be fine. They didn't grade it as bad as like a Hayward. But dude, losing Hayward, I know you just kind of threw that aside as if that's not a big thing. Dude, he's one of the leaders on the team. He's got a lot of experience. They lost him. Obviously, he'd still be there for mentality wise with the team. I don't know if he's 100% leaving the bubble yet, but dude, I mean, he puts up 12 a game. They're losing that completely. What are you going to put Romeo Langford in for a decent amount of time? He's a fellow Hoosier, but he's trash,
He's an IU guy, but that guy ain't an NBA baller, man.
No, he's not. Baller, man. He's lucky to be a lottery pick. Let's be honest. But dude, I don't know. Sean, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I could see what I think with this entire series. I definitely could see it going 7 games just because I feel like Boston's experience when they were really young, when they were playing LeBron in that game 7 is going to come into effect. And also, but Toronto, them last year winning the championship. So I could see it going 7 games, but I got to disagree with you, Zoo. I think
you going with the Raptors?
Fred
what's with you guys?
It's going to make.
Man.
He's clutch. Like after
he's clutch.
Final game, he's clutch, man. And I think he's going to make a big shot in this series, and it's going to change. Like you talk about a bag. Like after the series, if they win this series, they might be looking at him as a max contract.
I agree.
I won't say he's a max contract.
No, they will forever regret that if they give him a max contract. It'll be the Tobias effect, man, on the 76ers. They're regretting that.
I don't know about
the
that.
Al Horford effect. When you give him a max, you usually look at why they give him a max. It'll happen to Van Fleet is a nice player, man. I would give him $25 million, $28 million. But max money, that's 35 to 38, man.
Okay, max is maybe a stretch, but he's that tier. He's that tier, that second tier of he's going to get a really nice contract.
He'll get $100 million deal easily over 4 years.
100 over 4.
Yeah.
I think 25 is fair. I think 25
I would pay him
is
that.
fair.
He proved himself in the finals too, man.
Dude, if the Chicago Bulls sign this dude, I'm done. I am done.
I agree.
I do it all on Van Fleet.
He's a nice
player,
but
man.
not for $100 mil.
Yeah.
Not for $100 mil.
Yeah. Do you want to pay $100 mil? Jason Tatum.
Knowing the Bulls, though, they'll make that. Knowing the Bulls, they'll make that call, though. Let's be honest.
Not anymore, baby. AK. Baby. Arturas Karnisovas, baby. I love that man already. I love that man. He already brought good luck with the 4th overall pick. Woo, man. I love Arturas, man.
Well, we could talk the Bulls draft and I guess the Bulls team moves on another podcast, but that's all the time we have for today. I was excited to host this podcast. Glad Chaz gave me the opportunity to do it. He will be back next week. I want you guys to also know you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do that every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Tonight we did it at 8:30, but we usually do it at 9 p.m. So you guys subscribe to that. Also, subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, whatever streaming platform that you do. And until next time, see you later.